Goeienaand, good evening fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now there's a huge untold story happening in South Africa right now. It's a brain drain. Now there's a huge number of traditional South Africans, mainly the minorities, who are looking very carefully at their options outside South Africa because of things like black economic empowerment. And of course, in the short term, this is going to create a huge brain drain after this lockdown is over, because these people are doing their hard yards now, they're doing their work, they're getting their applications out there, and once this lockdown is over, you're going to get tens of thousands of young minority group South Africans are leaving the country, fleeing the country. It's going to leave a huge gap for this ANC that's talking about building a smart city. Well, seeing that the ANC have a relative IQ and the leadership of about 35, and that's been generous, I don't know why they're even thinking about a smart city. But, like anything else, supply and demand. So this is my prediction, that the Chinese, the honorary blacks in South Africa, will come in and fill the gap. And that's by design. So your traditional mix of cultures in South Africa is going to be turned on its head as more and more Chinese come into the country. And the ANC government becomes subservient to China, and South Africa becomes a colony of China. And I would suggest that will probably happen before 2030. In other words, in less than 10 years' time. And just to add a bit of meat to the bone about this brain drain that's going to happen in South Africa, it's not a hypothetical situation. This is happening, and I'll tell you why I know. Rand Merchant Bank Chief Executive James Formby has warned that the country's post-lockdown economy is likely to be set back by a brain drain of skills leaving the country. In an interview with Business Day newspaper, Formby said that the country is losing qualified and experienced people in their 30s and 40s to positions overseas. So what's happening here is that the people who still, because of their younger age, can leave the country to go to places like Australia, because once you hit, I think it's 40 in Australia, it becomes much harder to migrate to this country. This is especially the case for skills in the infrastructure and development sectors, which have been highlighted by President Cyril Ramaphosa as key to the country's recovery. This is how dumb this ANC government are. They don't care that they're shooting themselves in the foot. You know, again, the old L factor, logic factor, completely missing in action. But let's watch what happens. Formby added that it was extremely difficult to bring skilled people into the country, which has led to an erosion in the country's skill base, a serious issue flagged by RMB. Other experts have warned that the country's brain drain could come at a more direct cost, a shrinking tax base. Yeah, this is why I'm predicting that the rand, the South African rand, will go the same way as the Zim dollar. It's just going to go. Because the fiscus is shot. They've completely cleaned out the bank, this corrupt ANC government. Anyway, the shrinking tax base can be seen in a recent study by the University of Cape Town's Liberty Institute of Strategic Marketing, which used the National Income Dynamics Survey to detail the number of adults living in households by income band. Looking at the income bands defined as middle class and above, the survey shows that between 2017 and June last year, This segment of the adult population declined from 6.1 million people to just 2.7 million people, translating to a 55.73% reduction. On the other end of the spectrum, the number of ultra-poor individuals earning below minimum wage increased by 6.6 million individuals, or 54%. Jean du Toit, head of tax technical at Tax Consulting South Africa, said that the reasons for the decline are manifold and that many would attribute it to the brain drain of South Africans leaving the country, which had been exacerbated by the lockdown. He said that there are only a handful of South Africans who actually contribute to the personal income tax pool. He said in terms of the 2020 budget review, roughly 90% of the income tax payable by individuals are paid by the middle class and above, as defined in terms of the survey. And he concluded by saying, this puts the result of the survey into perspective. In a 3-year period, our personal income tax base appears to have more or less halved, gone into half the amount of income. And it is likely that a large chunk of that reduction occurred after February 2020. If you haven't got people paying tax, how are you going to pay the bills, Ramaphosa? And of course, with expropriation without compensation, you've just exacerbated the position. Yeah. Dependence on China is the only solution for this communist government. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.